And then we continue where we left off here. Right? Now, enough about this topic. Let me talk about Lasso for Zanus. Why Lasso for Zanus will be one of the best movies ever made. I'll talk about my world building in depth in my next video, but I'm going to talk about the movie, not the book. My next video is on my map. I'm going to talk about the book and the amazing world building of what Lasso for Zanus. So why will what? Last Hope for Zanus be one of, if not the best movie ever made? I'll give you my reasons, okay? Right? Unheard of budget. Again, you're looking at what? $970 million. Ugh. Most expensive movie ever made. That's one reason. Right? So you have unheard of budget, $970 million, most expensive movie ever made. Right? Yeah, it's going to be what? 8K world, obviously. Better than Avatar. Unheard of what? Action sequences. This video might be an hour. I don't know if I can drag it out for an hour and 30 minutes. I'll try my best here. So why will Lasso for Zanus be what? One of, if not the best movie ever made? My reasons. Unheard of budget, $970 million. That's the most expensive movie ever made in Hollywood in history. 8K world, better than Avatar. Unheard of action sequences, what? Better than what? Than Lord of the Rings. Right? Yeah, after an hour I'm going to shut this camera off because I'm tired. Right? So unheard of budget, $970 million. Most expensive movie ever made. 8K world, better than Avatar. Right? Unheard of action sequences, better than Lord of the Rings. Right? Unheard of horror. Because what? Aratat is the what? The devil himself. Right? Amazing story. Right? Amazing soundtrack. As I'm hiring what? Hans Zimmer. To what? To compose the choir, obviously. Hence why what? Last of Us Angels will be what? One of, if not what, the best movie ever made in what? In motion picture. And hence why those Hollywood actors are lucky because they're going to experience success and fame without VJ. So why would Last of Us Angels be one of, if not the best movie ever made? Right? My reasons. Unheard of budget, $97 million, most expensive movie ever made. 8K world, better than Avatar. Unheard of action sequences, better than Lord of the Rings. Unheard of horror because Aratat's the devil himself. Amazing story, obviously. Amazing soundtrack. Hans Zimmer will be what? Composing the choir. Hence why Last of Us Angels will be what? One of, if not the best story ever told in motion picture. Obviously, right? Am I missing anything? Right? Oh yeah. Hiring what? Good Hollywood actors. Hiring the perfect actors. I'm gonna say that because all the actors I chose for Last of Us Angels are like perfect for the role. Yeah. hiring the perfect actors for the role. And you guys already know who the actors who are chosen, because you guys can see the future. Don't forget, you guys can obviously you can see the future because I have the keys. So you know how good my Last of Us story will be. Obviously, you can see you can see the future because I have the keys. You know how good my Last Hope for Zanus movie will be. Right? You know how good it'll be. Hence why Last of Us will be one of, if not the best story ever told in motion picture. And hence why those actors are fucking lucky, obviously. Hence why those actors are lucky, and why they will have successful careers in Hollywood, obviously. But even then, they're still gonna beg, obviously, because of what? Me and my wife are special, obviously. See what's in here? So even though those Hollywood actors know they're gonna be successful in Hollywood, like the actors who I chose, the biggest actors are probably gonna rise to that 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 million range, even more perhaps. They know they're going to be A-list actors, and the small A-list actors are only going to become bigger. Even then, they're still going to beg me more to resign because they'd rather work for me, my wife, they'd rather work in Hollywood, obviously. So those Hollywood actors, even though they know they're going to have successful careers in Hollywood, they're still going to beg because what? They'd rather work for me and my wife than work in Hollywood because Hollywood sucks compared to skyscrapers. They were saved, they got paid, show the money, they were the best movie ever made, honor of technology. They know they're going to be successful in Hollywood. Even then, they'd rather work for skyscrapers because me and my wife are that special. And skyscrapers is much better than Hollywood. Hence why these actors are going to fucking beg their asses off. Because what? Skyscrapers is better than Hollywood, and they were the best movie ever made. And they'd rather work for me than work in fucking Hollywood because me and my wife are that special. Hence why they're going to fucking beg. Yeah, man. That's how crazy it's going to be, man. All the actors chosen for all my movies are all going to beg me to be signed. Even the big A-list actors are going to beg me to be signed. Big A-list actors already have successful careers in Hollywood. And even then, they're still going to beg me to be signed because me and my wife are that special, obviously. And Skyscrapers is better than Hollywood, much better than Hollywood. So if Will Smith, Keanu Reeves, Tom Hanks is in a movie, even those guys are going to beg me to be signed. I'm going to keep saying this. Right? All chosen Hollywood, remember, only Hollywood people, see people are out, obviously. All chosen Hollywood actors will beg their asses off. Their asses off. For what? For me and what? My wife to re-sign them. Why? I'll give you many reasons why. First reason is what? Skive source is what? Better than what? Than Hollywood, obviously. Right? Right? Luxury buffet. Right? Right? $3,500 gas card. $2,000 gift card. $50,000 royalty check. Right? Excuse my writing. I have horrible writing. I can go on. Right? More money, yes. More money in most cases, right? And most importantly, they what? They want to be saved, obviously. Right? So the main reason why they really want to work for my company is because they want to be saved, obviously. Because being what? Being famous without Ivan and VJ feels worthless and meaningless. Even though their fame is not worthless and meaningless, because they're not the main show, what their fame is going to feel worthless and meaningless, obviously. Hence why what? They're all going to what? The Hollywood actors are all going to what? They're all going to beg their asses off. They're going to fucking beg. All the chosen Hollywood actors will beg their asses off for me and my wife to resign them. Why? Because Skysource is better than Hollywood. Luxury buffet, $3,500 gas card, $2,000 gift card, $250,000 royalty check, more money in most cases, obviously, and most importantly, they want to be saved. Saved. I have it in brackets here. Saved, and not what, and not left behind, obviously. Because that's how special me and my wife are. See what I'm saying here? And you rolled what? You took that amazing feeling, right? That those actors cherish. You World took that amazing feeling for granted, obviously. Because you guys are obviously what? You're reprobate, obviously. I keep saying that. Right. Hence why all the Hollywood actors are going to beg their asses off. So they're all going to beg because SkySource, what? They're all going to beg their asses off for me and to resign them because SkySource is better than Hollywood. Luxury buffet, $3,500 gas card, $2,000 gift card, sponsored by clothing. I forgot to mention that, right? $250,000 royalty check for all the re-releases. More money in most cases. SkySource can pay compared to Hollywood, right? And most importantly, they want to be saved and not be left behind. In other words, that amazing feeling that those actors cherish, you will took that amazing feeling for granted because you guys are reprobate people. Hence why you guys are going to regret your decisions and you're going to beg for forgiveness, but it's too late. You kill an innocent man and purposely cause mess in his life, and you choose not to talk about him in the public eye, and when he's king, he's kept behind the scenes and you're what? Left behind. Right? Hope you guys enjoy this video. You guys better enjoy this very watch as you can, because once I'm king, I'm piecing the fuck out of this, man. You better enjoy these side videos while you still can, because I only have 3 videos after my final announcement. I'm done after that. You better not take this innocent man for granted. Right? Yeah, in a good hour, I'll try extend it for an hour and 30, but there's a good chance and I'll make an hour video and I'll be done here. What else is there to talk about? I'm thinking what else I want to talk about. Right? I'll talk about the hierarchy of power. Ranks of power, obviously, for my SkySource company. Right? The ranks of power, obviously. So if the ranks of power, so me and VJ will be what? We'll be the boss, obviously. We'll be what? Ivan and VJ will be the CEOs of the company, obviously. So we're the CEOs of the companies. We're also executive producer, obviously. Producers. Right? The 2 script developers, so Jon Favreau or Dave Filoni, if hired, they're what? They're the co-executive producers. Right? They'll be the co-executive producers for my company. if they're hired. I might hire someone else. And they are what? So me and my wife, we are first in command, obviously. And Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, they are second in command. And they'll be the what? They'll be the boss over what? Boss over the 5, obviously. The second rank of power is what? The accountant. The accountant. Accountant, legal advisor. And what's the head of production? So they are what? They are third in command. Right? Last but not least, the secretaries. They are what? Fourth in command. Right? So Ivan and Vijay are the CEOs, first in command, the executive producers. The 2 script developers, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, have hired. They're second in command, and they answer to me and my wife, and they're the boss over the 5. The accountant, legal advisor, and the head of production, they're third in command. They answer to Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and me and my wife, obviously. And they're the boss over the secretaries. Whereas the secretaries, they answer to the 6, and they also answer to me and my wife. And the entire 6 team, obviously, the 6 team, obviously, they are the boss over what? The entire crewman. That's how the power structure is going to work, obviously. Right? So the ranks of power of my company. So Ivan and Vijay are the CEOs, first in command. They're executive producers. The 2 script developers, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, have hired, will be second in command, the boss over the 5. They're going to be my co-executive producers. And these guys are my assistant producers, obviously. I forgot to mention that. Assistant producers and co-assistant producers. Right? So the 2 script developers, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, have hired, are second in command, the boss over the 5, co-executive producers. The accountant, legal advisor, and the head of production, they're third in command, and the boss over the secretaries, and the answers Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have hired, and me and my wife. And the secretaries don't answer. The secretaries answer to the 5. Sorry, they answer to the 5, and they also answer to me and my wife, and right, and they're the boss over the crewmen, obviously, as well as the other 5 are the boss of the crewmen. So the 6 team, there's a power structure within the 6 team, the 7 team, obviously, and right, but the 6 team are the boss over the entire crewman. So the secretary is a boss over the entire crewman. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are the boss over the entire crewman. The accountant, legal advisor, and head of production, they're the boss over the entire crewman. That's going to be the power structure for my company. Hence, when you see these guys taking command when they fly to Switzerland, you're going to see how boss the 7 team will be. Oh my God, Ivan and Vijay are paying these guys such a good salary. They're the boss over all these crewmen in what? The boss over the crewmen in what? In Switzerland. That's how boss the 7 team are going to be. So that's a quick example of the ranks of power, the hierarchy. That's in my wife's company, obviously. Yeah, I'm going to end this video in an hour here. I'm running out of ideas to talk about here. I thought it'd be cool to make a good 1 hour video. I know 1 hour video for me is nothing, but I mean, I'm tired and I want to get some sleep. In a good 10 minutes, I'll end the video here. Yeah, 90%. In 10 minutes, I'll end the video. I don't know if I can go on for another 30 minutes. I'll try, but I mean, I don't know what to talk about here. Right? Yeah. I'll talk about my phase announcements for my movie. The movie phase, I already talked about. So the movie phases. So the movie phases for what? For my Sky Source company. I already mentioned this in my past videos, obviously. All right, so the first movie, so I'll have a 20 what? A 20 plus plan for what? For my company, obviously. This will be my first phase. This is phase one. The long phases, obviously. So the first movie I'm going to do, right, is what? The Last Hope for Xanus, obviously. Right. The Last Hope for Xanus. My second movie will be what? The Great Escape, obviously, right? I might change the name. I might call it something Escape. Because there's a movie called Great Escape that came out in the 60s or something like that. I might change it to different. I might call, I don't know, the Escape of the Mysterious Organization or something like that. But I'm going to call it The Escape something. The Great Escape, obviously. That's going to be the name of, that's going to be my second movie, obviously. My third movie is what? They're Unique. Right? My fourth movie is a hidden what? Vampire Island movie, right? And my fifth movie is a what? Western gangster movie. I already told you what I want all my movies to be about. I thought it'd be cool to give you a 20 plus year plan for me and my wife Scott's comedy. So every time I finish my phases, I'm gonna move on to the next phase. Right. So my phase two, I don't know what I want my phase two to be about, but I have a few ideas. So my phase one is a 20-year plus plan. My first movie is The Last Hope for Xanus. Second is A Great Escape. The third is They're Unique. The fourth is a hidden vampire island movie. And the last movie I'll be doing is a Western Gangster movie. This is a good 24-year plan around there. And after those 24 years, I'm going to move on to my next phase. I'm going to do another 20 plus year plan for my movie. Now, I don't know what movies I want to do, but I have a few ideas here, obviously. That's going to be what? My plan for my Sky Source company, obviously. 23 minutes. 7 more minutes, I'll finish it. I'll try to drag it out for a long time. What else is there to talk about? Right? Oh yeah. Do not let Hollywood actors dupe you as the bigger A-listers. I'm going to briefly talk about this in this video. I'll talk about this more in depth in my Swimming with the Sharks. I'm going to talk briefly here for this video. As their agents will what? Will try and get a piece of me and what? My wife's royalties. So the big Hollywood actors in Hollywood, obviously. This is a big A-lister. There's a good chance he's gonna what? He's going to try and get what? A piece of the royalties, obviously, and he's not worth it, obviously. But no actor is what? Is worth me. I think he says, no actor in Hollywood is worth me more royalties. So to keep them happy, you got to pay them a bonus. As there's no way in heck am I going to let these actors take a piece of my royalties. Considering Amazon's already taking 40% of royalties, no actor is worth me more royalties if they're not the main show, obviously. So no actor is worth me and what? My wife's royalty, as they are not the main show. You may be the main show in Hollywood. Once you're my movie, you're no longer what? The main show. See what I'm saying here? There's a good chance their agents, so the bigger agents, there's a good chance their agents are going to try and get a piece of Moonrise royalties, but they're not worth Moonrise royalties. Hence why you pay them a bonus to keep them happy. As no actor is worth Moonrise royalties, as they are no longer the main show when they are what? They are in my movie. Excuse my writing, it's horrible. So I hope you guys get an idea what I'm talking about, how no actor in Hollywood is worth me and my wife's royalties. As you get paid, there's a saying, right? There is a saying, you get paid for what you're worth in this world, obviously, right? Right, that's how it works in this world, man. You get paid for what. Yeah, Will Smith, Keanu Reeves might be worth a lot of money in Hollywood and get a piece of the royalties, but for my movie, they're not worth that because they're no longer the main show. Me and my wife are the main show. Yeah, they create more buzz for your movies, but at the end of the day, they're not the main show. You and your wife are the main show. Hence, nobody's worth you and your wife's royalties. You gotta let them know that. Right? Right? 3 more minutes. I'll babble on for 3 more minutes. Last but not least, what am I going to end this video off with? Talk about my logo for my company. Right? So for my SkySource logo, how I want it to look like. I want it to be sky like this. I'm butchering it right now. I'm going to give you a little idea, a little brief idea of what I want how I want my logo to look like. So it's like sky like this. I'm saying capital I, V, obviously. Then it's source in capital, obviously. And you have a man. I'm butchering it here. It's obviously not going to be a sticker for the logo, but I can't draw, so there's a man and a woman touching, obviously. And as soon as they touch, you get this like glowing effect. Right? You get this glowing effect. And you have, I don't know, you see like the sky. You see the sky here, the sky in the background. And the bottom it says the Canadian Film Company. And that's why my wife said I'm self-made. Because I have everything planned out. So I'm butchering. This is not how it's going to look like when you watch my movies. But like, I'm just giving you an idea of how I want my logo to look like, my design to look like. So you have Skive. You have a man and woman walking and they touch, obviously. And as soon as they touch, you get this glowing, you get this sky, you get this glowing effect on the letters, and you get this sky effect in them. You have the sky in the background. You know how Paramount, you see the mountains of the sky? Think something like that for SkySource. You see what? You see the sky in the background. You see, as soon as the man and woman touch, you get this glowing effect on the letters. And you have SkySource. And then SkySource, you have SkySource, and then it says the Canadian Film Company. It says Sky Source Entertainment in the bottom. Right? So it says Sky, I spelled entertainment wrong. It says Sky Source Entertainment in the bottom. And you have this glowing effect when the man and woman touch. The sky background on the bottom, it says the Canadian Film Company. Right? And hence why Sky Source will be the best and biggest film brand in the what entertainment industry. And me and my wife will be what? We'll be boss, obviously. Right? Well, I'm going to end the video here. I thought it would be cool to make a quick 1 hour video. Right. Stay tuned for my next video. I'm going to talk about the world I created in depth. We're looking at a very interesting world, the best video in the series, my phase series so far. Looking at an amazing video. I'm going to talk about the world I created from the north to south. You're looking at an amazing video for that world. And you better enjoy the series while you can. Once I find out how wicked you are, I'm not making more videos for you. So you better fucking enjoy this series while you can. As once I pay this fee, I'm peace out my wife forever. This is Ivan Amer. I'm signing out. Peace.